EA Sports. It's the Cowboys and the Colts, and it comes your way next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion Indianapolis Colts taking on the NFC champions, the Dallas Cowboys. Fortnight of Super Bowl week is over, and away we go in Super Bowl 58. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Taylor to begin the drive. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
This Super Bowl, of course, just a huge one for this head coach. The first time he's walked the sidelines in a game of this magnitude. And you know, I might normally ask the cliche, what's going through his mind right now? But maybe the better question, CD, what do you think are the pitfalls of being a first-time head coach in this game?
Well, you know it's something that he thought about, Brandon, and he had to. And he was thinking about it long before he got to this stage. As the season progressed and he saw that his team was good, if he was smart, he started to make plans right then and there. Reach out to other coaches who've been there before. Find out how they handled winning, losing, handling all the ticket situations, travel, practice, all those things. And then trust your gut, make your best decision, and put it all out there and give your team the best shot.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. They give to Taylor out of the gun. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. On third down, here's Taylor. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Wise. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big-time throw on fourth.
Now that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there and making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver, because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's fourth down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it.
So this offense able to convert on fourth, and now a fresh set of downs here. First and 10. A give for Taylor running right center. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Do you remember in preseason when we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, you know, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Elliott going to get it again on second down.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Elliott. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Prescott now. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Garabay's kick is good. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead.
So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10.
Quick throw into the hands of Pittman.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down. That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it, got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
1st and 10, Taylor now.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
From the gun, it's Taylor.
And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48.
40 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. How to get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Yards that time on the punt, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
On 2nd down, Elliott once more.
He takes this for 3 to the 29.
That brings us to the end of one in Super Bowl 58. Much more to come from Las Vegas after this.
3-0 is our score. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. For the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Throwing, Prescott. Throwing middle, and it's complete.
And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
Okay, you and I are sitting up here getting ready to analyze whether they should go for it or not. Did you see the quarterback just point to the sideline and say, all right, everybody back, I've got this call?
Well, you knew this side of the field, they're in plus territory, 4th and 1. He wasn't coming off the field.
No, he wasn't coming off the field. He wasn't letting the offense go with him at all. He said, we're staying out here, and we're picking this one up. That's some leadership right there.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott, complete to Wright.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Running the jet sweep as Prescott bats it forward. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So the scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They are still in search of their first points in the ball game, but only down 6-0 as they begin with a first down. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
52 yards rushing for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl.
All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play. Well, congratulations to them. They come through defensively with another stop. And let's face it, this secondary, they've gone unchallenged so far in the first half.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Up the middle, here's Taylor.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
Wilson. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of the Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Well, he is out of bounds inside the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Those are the types of runs they told us they want to see more of. Look, they love the 60 to 70-yard runs, but those 10 to 20-yarders, they can help you win a ball game.
And that means everyone's invested because you know the big guys up front, that's what they do. They try and move people. But when you get your perimeter guys involved downfield, that means that they care about the running game and they know it helps their team.
Well, he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play.
On second down, it's Taylor.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
They'll set up the screen to Taylor.
And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Now, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14.
Running straight ahead, Taylor.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
We're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Now it's Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
And his kick is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead, finish up the half, and get on out and talk about it.
The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. There's Prescott. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Prescott. And that's Elliott, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. So it's halftime here on sports' grandest stage in the Super Bowl. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And I think you'd have to say their coaching staff, all things considered, had to be pleased with their performance in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Definitely pleased, doing their best not to show it to their team, of course, because as you and I both know, their mantra all season long has been finish. Get the job done. They know how close they are to lifting that trophy. One more solid half of football, and they can do exactly that.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Elliott going to get it again on second down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Elliott. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They go to Elliott again. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
56 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung here.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage and anybody could run him down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys good, backside guys,
man,
that's what you're supposed to do.
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable gain. This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
Meanwhile, Dak's throw pulled in by Lamb.
And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 25-yard line. A good pickup there, 22.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point, and what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue, not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
That run wasn't a big breaker, but I don't think the guys on offense mind very much. They've got a nice drive going, and they might just be luring the defense in a little bit. They could probably come back with a play action, maybe go over the top. But right now, on this drive, their playbook is open.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Prescott. And he's going to go down. He's safe back at the 24.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. Prescott to the sideline on 4th down. Jonathan Garibay is out there for the Dallas field goal.
From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt.
Garibay's kick is good.
And they continue to lead in the battle of field goals here. It's now 9-3. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. All things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone. The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
Third quarter, Super Bowl 58. Here's a 2nd and 10 now.
Here's Wilson.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Now it's Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Elliott. And some room to run now. And he makes it all the way down to the 13-yard line.
117 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in this Super Bowl.
And a guy that can change the game, shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. Will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
On 2nd and 7, Prescott. That one complete. Elliott. Touchdown! Ezekiel Elliott. A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Cowboys will extend their third-quarter lead here in this Super Bowl.
Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
On the sideline, difference of feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
25-yard line. The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs. Because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Third quarter of the biggest spectacle in sport, the Super Bowl. Thanks for joining us, everybody. 2nd and 10.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets them this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
And there's just 1 quarter that remains in this edition of the biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, as we get set for the 4th quarter.
Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. Now it's Crowder. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And they have been the better of the two sides to this point with a 2-score lead, 4th quarter of this Super Bowl, and the Lombardi Trophy within reach as they start this drive 1st and 10.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
So 4th quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move move the sticks and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now Prescott.
Open man Lamb. It's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Prescott to throw it. Wright's got it.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
The offense on third down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10. Now Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. So they'll wind up losing 7 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And this will be taken at the 13. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And we're at the time in the Super Bowl where, look, they need points. And they need them badly. Trailing here. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. If they had designs of kind of wiggling their way back into this one, that hurts their chances right there.
Man, to put it mildly, look at the lead, look at the deficit, trying to make a play downfield. Everyone seeking to be somewhat the hero. Didn't turn out that way at all, and you're exactly right. It's going to take a lot for them to have a chance to win this one now.
A give to Elliott running left. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
On 2nd down, Elliott once more.
He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
Garibay's kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So all things considered, that's not the final nail, but it does make things exceedingly difficult now on the other side.
Yeah, because obviously now with a 16-point game, the other guys don't need just 2 touchdowns. They need a couple of 2-point conversions as well. Plus they'll need either a turnover or an onside kick in there somewhere. So you're just adding to the list of things that need to happen in sequence. And it's going to be a pretty tall order this late in the game.
Garibay back out there now to send this one away.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
And it's becoming more and more apparent that this is just not going to be their night. That Lombardi trophy so close, but the expectations simply have not.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out.
From the shotgun again to Elliott. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. To throw is Prescott. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, Cowboys.
CeeDee Lamb, 43 yards. And the Cowboys are feeling good as they extend their lead in this Super Bowl. Extra point up and good by Garibay.
And that pushes the lead up to 23.
Garibay back out there now to send this one away.
Fair catch made on the 25-yard line. The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
And their Super Bowl hopes are dwindling here in the 4th. That AFC crown from 2 weeks ago starting to seem like a distant memory. And this one just has not gone as they hoped.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. And this is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
And Wilson going to keep it again.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
It's 4th down.
So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. Toss left to Elliott. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
Prescott here to throw. Got his man. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the Colts pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
You and I have been around teams, and they all have goals for games, don't they? And every team we've ever talked to says what?
No turnover.
Don't turn the ball over. 0. And they were that close to getting it done. Won't cost them today, but they'll hate that when they're watching the game tape.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards.
He's got him in. Complete.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10.
Oh, the option to give to Taylor here.
Runs over it. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
That's complete right around the 8. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
Second down at 7. They give to Taylor out of the gun.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Jonathan Taylor
taking it in from 7 yards away.
And the Colts are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done, but they threw it downfield and then pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
And that's caught at the 2. And he's going to get into the end zone for 2. And they're back within 2 scores, down 15 now. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Time for this one final knee to put a bow on this title bout.
I don't know why we did it, but we went to their final walkthrough for some reason. And what did we see? Their last play in walkthrough was taking a knee in celebrating winning a Super Bowl. They want that visualization. They did it for real.
Yeah, they just scripted it out. Defense can't stop the clock, and they can watch the final seconds tick. And the Dallas Cowboys will hoist the Lombardi Trophy. They are the kings of the NFL. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name, Super Bowl champion.
And they can't ever take that away, can they?
Nope.
That lasts forever. So good to see the emotion when it's all said and done. You see the hugs, you see the guys cheering, the collective happiness. Makes me want to carry you around a little bit on my shoulders to celebrate the triumph. And congratulations to them, a fantastic season.
Come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. I'll pull the sword out the border, walk a floor full of cobras. Go to war with you all, we can brawl toe to toe. I can tighten loops in my lace and make lightning lose in a race. I make fire cool and come back from the triangle in Bermuda. I can suit up, live in the moon up, working and outsmarting computers. I can outswim all the tuna, and that's without a scuba. So in the laws of nature, I'm breaking the rules. Only thing I'm bad at is being a loser. I can make time traveling a surprise, make graveyards feel alive. Break the immortal down to his demise. Look up and beam to the stars so you can turn off the lights. I come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. Tonight I hunt with the pride. You can't take my pride away. I can sing with the birds and the trees in the morning.